Hi, welcome you all for the session Garbage Collection in Java Programming. Let's assume user has created many objects using various classes from several previous programs. For example, here you see this garbage 1 is a class name which is creating object 1. You assume that 10 KB kilobytes is consuming for this object, and object 2 again 10 KB, again object 3 we are defining 10 KB, then object 4 assume that 10 KB is consuming. So totally when you are computing the consumption of the memory space to store these objects, we are consuming 40 kilobytes from our memory space. So what happened to this allotted memory after this program is completed? Once this program's execution is over, what happened about this 40 kilobytes of memory space? Once the program is completed, then these objects become garbage in the sense wastage. So here once this program is completed its execution, after that then this 40 KB of memory space will be wasted. This object all four objects will not be used in future, so these objects becomes garbage. So we have to clean it up, that memory space. This 40 KB has to be released from this four number of objects and allotted to other purpose. So this can be done by using the garbage collection concept here, that is called memory cleanup mechanism in Java programming. So here this wastage of the memory is called this garbage. So we have to reclaim that memory space from this wasted or unused objects. So that is called here a garbage collection. For example, here emp is the object which is created by using the class employee. Once it is created, some memory locations will be allotted. Then we have to delete the reference for this object by assigning the null value. So when you are using this one, it removes the object's reference, but occupied memory by this object is not at all released. So what we have to do, we have to release this occupied memory space by this employee, that means emp object. So for that we have to make this object as a unreachable. How to make this? So we have to make the employee equal to null. Then if you make this as a null reference, then automatically this object becomes unreachable. Once this object is becoming as unreachable, then which is eligible for garbage collection. For example, here as I told you, the employee is having the object emp. Then after creating this emp object, so here the memory location is allotted to this emp object. So this memory location is heap data structure. Already we know from the data structure concept. So from the heap, the particular memory locations are allotted to this particular object emp. Then when you are assigning the null value to this emp object, then that this reference is deleted from the heap, but this allotted memory locations will be available as it is. So we have to release that memory locations from this emp object, right? So that's what we have to do by using the garbage collection mechanism. First we have to make the object to be eligible for garbage collection. There is four methods available. Despite the programmer is not responsible for destroying the useless objects which are already defined, it is highly recommended to make an object unreachable if it is no longer required. That means once the object is uh, not used, then we have to make it as a unreachable. The For making that object as a unreachable, we can use four kind of approaches. One is nullifying the reference variable. That means here change a reference variable to null. So here this is the object variable, or we are calling this as a reference variable. We are making this as a null. As long as all references to an object are removed, that object will become unreachable. And second method is reassigning the reference variable. Instead of nullifying the reference variable, we can reassign the reference to another object. For example, you see we have defined the emp as an object for the employee class, and one more object we are creating for you by using the employee class. Then here by using this employee class we have created two objects. Now this emp is assigned to emp2, so just we are reassigning the reference variable. That is also making that object becomes unreachable. You see, once we assigned this object, then here we that object will become unaccessible or unreachable. An object created inside the method, that means suppose when you are using the method void add like this, then inside this, suppose if you are creating the objects, for example object1 equal to then new some class name, for example employee. Okay, so then if object this is created inside the method, then we cannot use this outside of this method. So once this method is executed, then after completion of this method execution, that object will become unreachable, so it is eligible for garbage collection. And another one method is we are creating an anonymous object. The anonymous object does not have a reference variable. You see here we are creating the we are assigning the memory location by just calling the constructor. Okay, by just calling constructor. So here we are not using any anonymous variable, that means sorry, any reference variable. So this becomes anonymous object. So the garbage collector will mark and remove it during the next garbage collection cycle. So when the next collection of the garbage cycle, so automatically the memory which is allotted for this call, constructor call, will be marked as a collection garbage collection purpose. Okay, that is the thing. So here we are using four kind of methods to make the object become unreachable. Once the object becomes unreachable, we can apply the garbage collection method automatically. So here the garbage can be collected by using two methods. One is automatic garbage collection and another one is manual garbage collection. When the objects on the heap memory must be destroyed, right? So when it is to be destroyed, so whenever the object is not used, right, at that time we have to deallocate or destroy that memory locations which are allotted to that object. So it can be done by garbage collection mechanism which is available in the Java virtual machine. So whenever we are applying the automatic garbage collection, right, so the Java virtual machine will do this process automatically at the end of the program's execution. When the object is eligible for garbage collection, whenever there is no existing reference to an object. Okay, so if there is no reference, then automatically that object becomes unreachable. If it becomes unreachable, then which is eligible for garbage collection. Hence unreferenced objects memory can be reclaimed by using the garbage collection mechanism. However, no guarantee to reclaim the object's memory which hold the resources IO stream, database connectivity, and socket connectivity open. To ensure this garbage collection, the user can apply the finalize method manually to collect that memory space occupied by this kind of resources. So here the manual garbage collection can be applied by using the runtime class. So runtime class is having the method get runtime here. So this is giving you the currently running objects, currently running objects in the Java virtual machine environment. So here after getting the current runtime object, then we can apply the garbage collection method, GC, garbage collection method, to collect the garbage, that means unreachable objects memory space which is allotted earlier in the program's execution. And also if you want to know the free memory space, then you can apply the free memory method which is returning the amount of free memory available in the Java virtual machine. And here the example is given, main method is created, the variable is having the value 10, then main method which is getting the command line arguments in the form of string data type. If there is any exception, we are throwing that. Then here I am creating the object, so here which is allotting some memory space to this obj reference variable. Now I want to know which is the object currently running in the Java environment. So by using here get runtime method available from the runtime class. So object variable is created to know the currently running object in the Java environment. Now I want to know what is the total memory space allotted for the currently running object, so which is given here, you see. So the total memory before the garbage collection, that means which is allotted to the obj variable, some 1277296664. Then here I am printing the value of the x by using the obj.x. So now I am printing the value here, x equal to 10. Now I want to see what is the free memory after using this object variable. You look at that, after consuming some memory locations to this variable value x, you see 124 free memory space, 124, you look at that. So previously we had 1277 etc. Here we consumed some memory space for variable value 10, then now we are getting free memory space is 124908760. Now you see I am applying the garbage collection method. So what it do, the memory space which is allotted to the obj variable will be collected. Okay, so after collection of that, you see we are getting again memory space with respect to 127112040. It is approximately close to this value, right? So what we have got earlier in this step, so 127112040 approximately close to this value. So here we are applying the garbage collection manually to get the memory space which is allotted to this object variable obj. Likewise here we can use the finalize method to get the notification when we are applying the garbage collection method. So the finalize method is used whenever the object is destroyed and objects need to perform some action, right? That action can be given inside the finalize method. So finalization mechanism is applying to release a file handle and also reinitialize a variable such as counter. For example, here you see when we are using the finalize method, then here we are using the count variable, right, to know how many objects we are using inside the finalize method or inside the programming. So by using the finalization method, user can define specific actions that will occur when an object is just about to reclaiming by the garbage collection. So here we can use some actions. So inside this, you see I am using these statements to perform some actions, right? Based upon that, we can come to know what is going on in the finalize method. So the finalize method of an object does not have an implementation, just it will simply returns. You see there is no implementation available inside the finalize method, simply which is returning the values which are given inside the system.out.println statement. Inside the finalize method, user can specify some actions that must be performed, that means which is just a notification to the user before that object is destroyed. You see here just I am giving the notification program about to terminate, so just it will display that. Then I am using some count variable to know how many objects are there, we are gradually step by step decreasing that variables, I mean count of that object variables, and also we want to know how many remaining objects are there. So just this is giving the notification to the user, right? So based upon that, the example is given garbage one, which is having the count variable, then constructor we are defining, inside the main method we are defining the ob1, this is the object variable. So it is assigning some memory locations whenever we are creating the reference variable ob1. Then here just I am printing number of objects as of this context. So how many objects are there? So number of objects as per this one is 1. Then here I am creating one more object ob2. Then here I am assigning some memory locations to this ob2. I am means the jvm is assigning some memory locations to the ob2. Then now I am counting the number of objects, right? So which is displaying the number of objects now 2, right? First one is ob1 and the second one is ob2. Now we are checking the currently running objects in the Java environment by using the get runtime method. Then here we are using nullify method. We are making the reference as a null to the ob1 and ob2. After that, now these two objects becomes unreachable, right? So once it becomes unreachable, then we can apply the garbage collection method to reclaim the memory space allotted to this ob1 and ob2. So here just we are using the finalize method to perform some actions, right? So just notifications. So here the notification giving to the user program about to terminate. Then we are decreasing the count of the variable. Count of the variable is now 2. Then we are decreasing by 1 the number of remaining objects, you see. So here this is displaying the number of remaining object is 1 because we have decremented 1. Then again it will recall by itself for the objects which are available, program about to terminate second time, then which is decreasing by 1. So now the count value becomes 0. So garbage 1 dot count is here 0. Now it will automatically stop. So if you have n number of objects, then this finalize method will execute that statements for n times. So it will give you the notification what is the actions which are performing inside the finalize method. So here we are having GC method, that means garbage collection methods by using two classes. One is system class and another one is runtime class. System class can be used as a class method. Here runtime can be used as a instance method, that is reference variable based method. So here main is the class which is defining, and inside that we are using the finalize method. Just it is giving the notification object is garbage collected, right? So here the method content is over for the finalize. Then here main method is defined. Here I am creating 4 object variables, each one is getting some memory locations. Then I am making this all objects as a nullify. So we are nullifying all these objects. Once we are making these objects as a null, it becomes unreachable objects. If it is unreachable objects, then automatically which is eligible for garbage collection, then we are applying the system.c, I mean class based method. Okay, so system.c, then automatically finalize method, if you execute this method by default, jvm will execute the finalize method in the program. So if we are having 4 objects, first time object s1, for that it is executed, and for object 2 the finalize method executed for second time, for object 3 finalize method executed for third time, for object 4 finalize method is executed for fourth time. So then all objects are over, then automatically it will exit from the program. So now we should observe that we can use runtime.gc or here system.gc. gc. So here we are using runtime.gc, right? So here you see we are using the runtime method. So in the second approach we are using the system.gc. Okay, thanks for watching.